Righto, so it's been 12 months since the last Tubi trek. For any of you who haven't watched that, go back and have a look at the video. We had this badass rig and another one, and we took it out to Monaro and had a fucking grand old time. But I did jump it, and some shit got broken. So it's time to repair that shit and get ready for this year's Tubi trek. So it's been 12 months since this thing's run. So we're just gonna jam a battery in it and see if it'll go again. I guarantee you that battery's gonna be flat. But do you reckon we'll just jump start it with this battery in and see if it charges it a bit? Straight up! Needs to get a bit of oil around the gearbox. It's been a long time. So when I jumped it, my strut extensions, I made a big long forky extension bit. It folded over and it's now back to standard height. So what we're gonna do is pull it out, take the springs off, put new struts in it, and we're gonna use like N70 strut spacers off a Toyota Hilux. Look at the rear end travel on the cunt. Look at that. All the fucking down travel. Look at the damage on that. She's a little bit bent, but hopefully getting a new strut and they'll be shorter so they won't be likely to bend. And then instead of putting the spacer down here, it's going to go on the top. It's in. Thought that was going to happen. So while we were in the middle of that process, the spring half slipped out. For some reason it wouldn't let it go back down, so it fucking popped out. So we've got to try and figure out how to use it properly first. Right, so I think what happened is I was trying to grab too much of the spring at once. I was trying to grab right on the ends and the things didn't fit in there properly, so I just took a little bit less. And I reckon it's in there heaps better. Until it pops out. That's way safer. Tons, look at that. I think. Yeah. I'm not going to stand in front of it still. I'm not that trusting of it. Why is it doing that? It worked fine last time. If you haven't watched the original build videos of this Tubi we're working on, these are actually Hilux 2-inch lift springs, so these just go straight in an N70 Hilux. Well, I'm a bit nervous because they're fucking 800 pounds or something. So last time, I just checked back on a video and we used the rattle gun style spring compressors, but it was super sketchy. I had to do them up super tight and they were like a banana. So I'm going to persist with this one and hope that for some reason I'm going to do the exact same thing and hope it doesn't do the exact same thing. But stand back because this is fucking an 800 pound spring. So in case it does go twang, but I've got it sit in there really nicely this time, so it might go better. Fuck, that's tight. See, I can turn the top, which means the spring's loose. This means it should just come off okay. But I mean, that's what happened on the last one too. Do the exact same thing and hope for a different result. I fucking don't like this at all. Right, so I sat the jack under there. It's not jacking it, just to stop the strut falling down when I take the top off. I'm hoping that's gonna not shock the spring into fucking wanting to bounce out. Yeah, that spring's really bent. I think it's bending the fucking hands on it, the fingers. So the only thing stopping this spring from popping out is the strut sitting inside it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this normal spring compressor on the side here and do it up, and hopefully that holds the spring in there. Right, now that I've done that, it's pulled that away from the edge. the bottom coil was slightly too small, remember? And then when we pressed it on, it didn't quite sit down firm, but then once we started driving, it spreaded the spring out and it's really grabbed onto it. I forgot about that. It's going to take a fair hit to get that off. We got movement. Yeah, boy. Let's jam this one on straight away. Fuck, this shit's good, eh? I don't think we would have got that off without this. I know. Look how much fucking pressure's on that. That thing's bent as. That's completely off. Oops.
It can't spring out now.
No, it can only spring into its home, but I still don't like it. There we go. That's where it's got to be. Success. See how the spring's not settled right all the way down? But once you put it on the car and you put the weight of the car on it, it will seat in that gap there. But that's why we had to pry it out of the bottom of the housing, because these are for Hilux, not Falcon. Righto, time to do this one. It's a bit easier when you know what you're doing, but I did get a casualty. We've got to work out how many of these we can stack on top of each other to be able to get away with it. Now, it was cheaper to buy 35mm ones than like 60mm ones, so we just bought extra 35mm ones, so we'll be able to just go up in steps. I think we're only going to get 2 in, but I'm hoping we can squeeze a 3rd one in. We'll see how we go, eh? So this is the extension I put on the last ones to see. Now, if you have a look at this, using this is the same as the top, right? The way I see it is, you're definitely not going to get, I can't imagine us getting 2 on there. Well, we might just scrape 2. I think there's no chance we're going to get 3 on there. Let's try. These are skinny wall sockets and they won't even go on there. The fuck? You can't do it with a spanner. A socket won't fit in around it.
Maybe the pressure of the car holds them in place.
No, it's got to be bolted on there. Alright, so I've tried every fucking tool I've got, and there's no way the 17mm nut that's supplied can get done up in that groove there, because a 17 can't even fit in the groove. Neither can a spanner or open-ended spanner. You can't get any tools. I tried about 5 different 17mm sockets that might have had thinner walls and all that, and you can't do it. So the only way to do it that I can work out is throw the 17mm nuts that are supplied away and find a 16 or a 15mm nut that'll fit on this thread, and then you can fit your 15mm socket down on there. There's one. Righto, so turns out Mitsubishi exhaust manifold nuts fit straight on, so I know there's a whole bunch in here. I just got to find them all now. So we searched through every fucking bolt I own, that box and that box there. We finally found enough nuts to get it all together, except for one. It was the wrong thread, but we made it the right thread. So now we're all good to go, because obviously the struts have a different thread to the strut top, so we had to go through all these different nuts that all fit but didn't go on. So we're all good now. I'm gonna see if I can get it in with the 2, and if there's plenty of room, then I'll try a 3rd one, but I have my doubts. I don't think we have much of a chance of getting a 3rd. Oh, maybe. Bit of room there, and that can pull down a bit yet. We'll try 3. Look how ridiculous this is. If we can get that to happen, that'll be fucking wicked. Right, so I've got the crowbar in here. so I can lever the bottom control arm down to try and get this strut to fit in there. It's going to be crooked when it goes in. See where the bolts go? The bottom's not going to be straight, so I'm going to have to bolt it up and then try and turn the bottom. Oh, we're going to get this. Fuck yeah, we're going to get this. Oh, easy.
The wheels aren't going to be straight.
Don't worry, don't stress about it. Let's try and bolt it up and see what happens.
Just go back to 2.
Okay, back to 2. Alright, it's back to 2. Let's put it in. The spring hits on the chassis there before it lines up with this bolt. How am I going to achieve that? So I worked out if I can push the strut in hard enough, I can nearly get it to line up. So I just hooked up a ratchet strap here, and hopefully it can pull it in while I push it up and get the bolt in. Yeah, baby. Mad, let's put a wheel on. Righto, we'll get into this next side and then we'll drop it on the ground and see what it looks like. It didn't go down much. Yeah, that's up pretty high.
That's way better than last year.
Is it?
Yeah, it's actually level now.
I actually think it's maybe slightly higher in the front. So last year, we made modifications to stand the wheels up straighter, but they were out a little bit, but now that we've lifted it even more, they're poking out at the top still, so it's just how it's going to be. It's not going to get pulled in any further without chopping the top arms. We've already flipped them and drilled new holes.
This one's way wonky.
They are almost too wonky. Shit, I didn't think it lifted that much. I wonder if we should extend the bottom control arm. Like chop it off, rearrange the angle of the lower ball joint and pump it out a little bit, and that'll bring the bottom of the wheels out. See this pin that goes up here, like your lower ball joint? It's already on a mad angle. So if you go in a hole, it's gonna try and make that angle worse. It's all right if you hit a bump because it's going to go up and it'll straighten it. So what I'm thinking is to fix that angle, you could cut this off, right, and move it out, and that'll straighten your wheel up, and you could tip it on a little slight angle so then it corrects that angle there. I mean, it's perfectly fine just to send like that, but we may have to change our lower ball joints at some point. Especially if we hit a big bump. Reckon to send it? Right, so I'm trying to straighten the guard out. From when it got jumped, the wheel hit up into the guard and busted it out. But because I've cut the bracket off that holds the guard on to try and make clearance for the wheel, I'm having to drill a new hole. Just means it's going to be bolted through the light, which is probably not ideal. Ta-da! Johnny works at 2 shifters. Looks good. Right, it's pretty much done. I just got to bolt the guard on over there. Well, let's go and wash it and see how pretty it looks. broken the power steering rack. So I'm going to have to change the whole rack. All the mounts are broken off, so the rack's actually sliding left and right before the wheels turn. So back her in the shed and pull the rack off.
That's what happens when you jump cars, isn't it?
Yeah, well, sometimes things break. What do you expect? It's not supposed to be jumped.
So why'd you jump it?
Oh, because it looks cool, doesn't it?
Did it feel cool?
No, it was pretty rough, actually. Broke the hole all the way around the rack. Oops. I've never seen it where there's that much lift on the car. The steering rack end doesn't come down out of there because it can't bend enough. Look at it. I managed to pull it down just far enough to get it out. That only came off so easy because it's broken. I don't know if the new one's going to go on as easy. These aren't really that easy to get in and out, eh? There's not much room with the exhaust. Power steering rack's in. Just got to hook the steering column bit up onto the top of the rack, and I'm going to do a wheel alignment because it's a bit too far toe in. So the wheel alignment's done. Jess has got the wheel all straight, made sure it's straight while I was doing it. It looks like I might have it 1 mil that way, so the steering wheel might be tiniest little bit crooked, but it should be okay. Have a quick look here, got the string line up, and if I pull this out about 1 mil, leaves the tyre. So I've got 1 mil toe in on that wheel, and I've got about 1.5 or 2 on the other wheel. This power steering rack's not as good as the other one. Well, the other one was fucked, but this one's making a little noise, and it's got plenty of fluid and everything in it. So anyway, a bit of a bugger, but at least my wheels turn when I turn them, eh? Feels like it's ready to climb up some hills. The best thing about building a Tubi is there's no rules. You can do what you want. If you want to tech screw your guards on, fucking tech screw the cunts on. I love it. Because we're getting this thing out from last year, we thought we better change it up a little bit. So we've gone ahead and put these flares on. We thought about putting them on last year, but we didn't really like how they fitted, and it's going to take a little bit of time to fucking get them worked out. So anyway, we kind of got them worked out. We're tech screwing them on. Just got to cut a bit out of the rear guard here, and we'll go and have a look and see if we can get the front ones on. Righto, so this car is all ready to go for the Tubi track. We're just going to throw a bit of paint around it and that sort of thing. Maybe if we get real excited, we'll quickly do a diff gear swap, put some 411s in it or something, but that's good enough for now. Next week, we're going to get into the other Tubi that we have there. And for those of you that haven't seen it, it's a pretty cool one.